Hi, I'm Evan Thornley, the Executive Chair at Longview. Every week we bring you a session called Buy of the Week, where we scan the entire Melbourne property market and look for properties that have exceptional investment potential. These are not properties that we're selling, they're sold by other real estate agents, but we're looking as an advisor to property investors to try and find the needle in the haystack, the really outstanding property investments that are out there in the marketplace that may not be obvious. I want to take you back to one of Longview's fundamental understandings of where property investors can be led astray by the real estate industry. This diagram shows two upside down triangles. One, where all the money is made in property investment, and two, where most people spend most of their time. You can see they're mismatched. So we find that most property investors' main involvement with real estate agencies is through the property management department and dealing with the very important issues at the bottom of that triangle. That's where the time gets spent on issues like what's the right rental price, how much are the management fees, and so on. No doubt important issues. But when you look at the left-hand side, you see where is the main driver of wealth creation, and that's in the capital growth. Did you buy the right property? Is it being put to its highest and best use? And then down to things like, have you financed the property the right way? So at Longview, while we absolutely take care of the details for you at the bottom of the triangle and do an incredible professional job with all of those details, we want to focus your time and attention on making a small number of good decisions that lead to long-term capital growth. Now I'll hand over to Mark.
This week, we're discussing units as an entry-level investment or as a first home, specifically under $500,000. These are a great alternative to apartments and flats, generally found in the middle and outer rings of Melbourne. The land component is key with these units, as the land will continue to appreciate in value over time, as opposed to units and flats that generally don't have a land component. They're often low maintenance, which suits young couples' busy lifestyles, whether they're an owner-occupier or tenants. Most suburbs have these units, old, new, renovated, unrenovated, some in great locations, some further away from shops and amenities. There's generally a range that can be found in different suburbs around Melbourne. And they're very popular with tenants if you're looking at these homes as an investment, because they do, again, have that land component, and people are generally prepared to pay a little bit more than they would for an apartment or a flat. This week, we're highlighting Frankston as an option for these units. Being a Bayside suburb and only 45 minutes to Melbourne, also with a dedicated train line, Frankston's a great option as a long-term investment or if you're starting out with your first home. We've highlighted 4 properties currently for sale in the Frankston market. We've chosen them because of their location being centrally located, walking distance to trains, shops, and other amenities. You can see the first one here is a really, really lovely home, renovated throughout. It's got a great sized rear yard and a terrific floor plan. However, Bloom Street is a little bit of a cut-through street, and it is also the front unit facing the train line, which would get a lot of noise from the train line. The second option, Nolan Street, is a terrific location. It's only a short walk to the beach, short walks to Frankston Central and Station. It has been updated inside. However, internally, the floor plan is quite compact and the courtyard is particularly small. It's really the location that's the key, the most important factor with number 2. Number 3 is a terrific home, well renovated throughout. It's got a great floor plan. It's got a large rear yard, and also adjoining the rear yard is a large grassed area of body corporate land. Now, this sort of land can often be purchased or leased from a body corporate and included as part of your backyard. It's often a great way to increase the land size of a property and also increase the value and the livability and enjoyment of the property. It's a great walking distance location to key amenities. It is in a larger complex of 9 units, so that's something to take into consideration. Hill Street's another great example. It's a more modern unit. It's only 11 years old, and being newer, it has a more modern style floor plan where it's quite open plan with a very large kitchen, meals and living area. It's got a large paved courtyard, which is quite low maintenance, and it also has a double garage. One of the key points to this one is it's the second of only 3 in the complex. making body corporate issues a lot easier to deal with when you've only got two neighbours that you need to be talking to. We've marked the 4 properties on the map. As you can see, they are all walking distance to one of the 2 train stations and a range of shops, parks and other facilities, including Monash University and Frankston Hospital. Nolan Street on the left-hand side is obviously a lot closer to the water and to the beach, which is its best feature. The other 3 are all quite close, but key is that 16 Bloom, as you can see, it is right opposite the train line there, which, as I said, will be affected by the noise from the train, and it really does rule it out for us, unfortunately, leaving Hill Street and Reservoir Road as the 2 preferred locations. 2 at 9 Hill Street is our recommended property from these 4. It's a superior option for both owner-occupiers and investments. Its fundamentals of only being 11 years old, having a kitchen and bathroom that are still modern and won't need updating for 10 years. It's a small complex with only 3 units. It has a double garage, which is very rare for this type of unit. And it's got a particularly good large open plan living space versus the older style units where they have a more segmented kitchen, meals, and then living space. Even when you open those areas up by removing walls, it never quite has the same feeling as a custom designed large modern open plan space. It's got a large low maintenance courtyard, and it's a very convenient location, as we've discussed. This unit is being quoted by O'Brien's Frankston at $450,000 to $490,000. We've conducted our own rental appraisal at $340 per week, and we've found what we believe are the 3 most comparable sales in recent months. The first one in Long Street sold for $462,000. It was an updated older home with a good floor plan and a particularly large backyard, which is always a great option. Robert Street sold for $480,000. It was fully renovated, but it had quite a poor floor plan, older style floor plan where the living spaces didn't really open up to the courtyard, and you actually had to use the laundry to get into the courtyard. And Screen Street was by far the best unit. It was a modern unit with a 2nd bathroom and an outstanding floor plan. Now, it was a slightly inferior location to Hill Street, but we do believe that's the most comparable sale, taking into account that all these 3 properties were sold prior to the COVID-19 conditions affecting the market. We believe that in the current market, the right purchase price is in the range of $465,000 to $475,000 for number 2 at 9 Hill Street. We've calculated the gross rental return at a purchase price of $475,000 to be 3.72%. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know.